rising moons. That's what they say at Galaxy's Edge, or that's what they said until, for the fourth time, I think it's the fourth time in the history of the Disney parks is closed. So fourth time in the history of Walt Disney World, Disneyland, they've closed. I believe it was three other ones have been massive incidents, and this, of course, is a health scare, and we should be scared. And not scared. We shouldn't be scared. That's not what I should say. We should take this seriously, though, as this scare is legitimate, in that people, young healthy individuals are absolutely fine with all of this. It's people with health issues, older individuals are more at risk, and every day more and more people are exposed to it and diagnosed with this, and we don't know what lies in the future. So let's do what we can. So Disney is shut, but Rising Moons, this show right here, is something that we are going to do for the foreseeable future, we will say. And this is going to be today's episode's no video. There's no video today because I am alone sitting here. It's early in the morning. I'm going to record this and post it immediately. It's on YouTube, and it'll be on our podcast network as well, RSPN Rebel Scum Podcast Network. Wherever you listen to your podcast, you will find that. And this is like the introductory episode right here. And there is on YouTube right now, there is a live chat with this. Reason being is, and also the comments in YouTube as well, if you can't make the live shows. If you have anything you want to hear discussed, anything you want to talk about, we're going to do that. And this is going to be your early morning positive attitude, how to make the most of your day, essentially. Like, what does it take to make the most out of your day? What gets you through the day? All Star Wars related. We're going to have some really fun guests on here. We're going to have some fun conversations, hear people and their stories of success and failure, and what gets them up in the morning, what motivates them, stories from conventions, from Lucasfilm sets, things like that. We're going to hear about that. We're going to have a great time. This is going to be how we want you to start your day off on the right foot, and this is something that we felt was the right thing to do. So today's Tuesday morning. Wednesday you'll have a new one in the morning. Thursday new one. Friday a new one. Don't know if this will go into the weekend or not. There might be something else going on the weekend. I have a few things up my sleeve because this is a pandemic out there, and you're not supposed to leave your house regardless of the day of week. Basically, a Monday is the exact same as a Saturday at this point in time. Monday and Saturday are treated the exact same. A lot of people, but you know what? I shouldn't say for everybody, because I know there are a lot of people that are still having to go, with their day-to-day lives without this. But for a majority of people, we are working from home. We are out of work. We're waiting to hear work. We might be sick. We might have just come back from vacation. So we're going to take this opportunity to spend mornings with you, and you can obviously listen, watch, because some of them will be video. They won't all be video, but they will all be on YouTube and wherever you listen to podcasts, as I said. And we're going to take this very positively, and we're going to have a good time talking about it. And something I want to do now is I'm going to go through certain things that could be fun for you to do while you are home today on Tuesday, St. Patrick's Day. Not working, being alone, but in the Star Wars world. First of all, I want there's this little book called Lords of the Sith, and it's pretty old. I think it's 2014, early 2015. It's quite old. I think this is something that you need to pick up and you need to read if you have not. This novel, for me, was the perfect bridge for Vader between his time as Anakin in the prequels and the Vader we know from A New Hope and at the end of Rogue One and whatnot. We got inside of his mind and we heard his feelings and his thoughts. And the way they connected the prequels with the original trilogy, for me, worked wonders. It made me view the original trilogy with a new perspective. What it did was it made me, when I watched the original trilogy, I watched it with Hayden Christensen's voice underneath the James Earl Jones, uh, you know, masterfully done dialogue. But yeah, I could hear the pain of Anakin underneath there. I could hear Hayden Christensen speaking, and it really bridged that gap. The story itself is very simple. It would be a really cool, one-off film like for Disney Plus, or a comic. It would work, video game maybe, but it's simple like that. They go to Ryloth. There's this whole thing on Ryloth, and Jem Sandula is actually the main character of the story, and the Emperor and Palpatine know that there's a plot to destroy them, and you get to see Vader, use his skill sets of building stuff is in there, and how he's a great pilot is in there. But again, it's one of those things where you take the Vader and the Anakin, you mix them together, and this really kind of bridged the gap where, like I said, when I went back and watched the original trilogy, I really had this different understanding of Vader. Really made me appreciate everything a lot more, and I hold that in high esteem. I really enjoy that a lot. The other thing that I gotta suggest doing is, if you are in home isolation, play Battlefront. You play Battlefront because you can play with friends, with strangers. You're on headset, so you have the interaction with other people. You might think the game is, this is just an arcade game, which is fine. It is an arcade game. It's very simplistic. You're shooting people, but you're shooting together. So I think that's something that could be a lot of fun for you. You go on, and all of a sudden these people that you're not allowed to go into contact with anymore, you're on headset with them, you're hanging out with them, you're teaming up with them, you're having a good time. It is simplistic, sure, but you can buy it for like $12 now if you don't own it. I think like digital is like $12. And if you're going to the store, you could probably buy it for used for $5 if you want to touch anything used nowadays. But the digital, I think, is like $12.49 Canadian, so it's probably like free in America. So that's like, look, I would recommend it. If anybody wants to play with me, maybe we should have a day where we all get together and hang out on the PlayStation 4 together with that. Or maybe if you don't have PlayStation 4 and I do, maybe we play and we do it over YouTube. We'll figure that out. That's something for another day, because this could be going on for quite some time. So Battlefront is something you grab your friends, strangers, you get in there, you play. I know people like Andrew Fantasia hate online, but right now online I think reigns supreme. So highly recommend playing Battlefront with your friends and family, because it's going to be a great time for everybody. That being said, if you can get your hands on Super Star Wars, I know there's a system at Bed Bath & Beyond sells this. It's like $80 on sale for 40 Canadian right now. I did not get it. A friend of mine did, and him and his kids have been playing it. They have Aladdin, Lion King, but they also have Super Star Wars, Super Empire Strikes Back, and Super Return of the Jedi all on there. If you haven't played those 3 games, I can't stress enough how much fun they are. They're just an absolute treasure to play. You're going to want to spend hours and hours on those games. Maybe not hours, they're old school games, but they're a lot of fun. They are difficult, and they're not exactly the game, or the movies, but they are fun. They are something that I would strongly recommend. Another thing that you could do, Rise of Kylo Ren comic series. It was pretty good. Little heartbreaking, a little bit underwhelming, I thought, but it is a good read. The artwork is beautiful. You learn a little bit more about Kylo Ren and whatnot. I still wish there was a little bit more about why he turned to the dark side, but it's a great read. You can get them all. Again, digital. We're going to stick with digital stuff here. You can get this on digital, read it on your iPad, iPhone, Android, whatever it is. You can read it right there. It's a lot of fun. Another thing you can do, Rebel Scum podcast playlists. We've got a lot of playlists. We can go back. You can look at our Star Wars Celebration playlist, our podcast playlist, Flying Casual, Scavenger. We have all these playlists. Put those on while you're just doing whatever in the house. If you are in the house alone with family, if you have it, Star Wars Clue. If you're going to a toy store to grab stuff, Star Wars Clue is a lot of fun. Star Wars Monopoly is also fun. I would recommend all those. The Star Wars Clue is cool though, because you build it as the Death Star, so it is a 3-dimensional game board. That one is a lot of fun to do as well. One thing that they don't have anymore is Tiny Death Star. I would recommend Tiny Death Star absolutely to do it as well. But if you can get your hands on Lords of the Sith, today would be a good day. It's St. Patrick's Day. Sit back, relax, crack open you know, a beer or a wine or a coffee or a tea or a club soda water, as I say, and just give yourself Lords of the Sith. I'm going to recommend Lords of the Sith the most. It'll help you understand Vader. It'll really put perspective onto who and what he is. If there's anything you would like to hear us talk about on the Rebel Scum podcast, either on this Rising Moons show or anything else, please let us know. Tomorrow's will be a longer show. It'll be a little bit more. There will be a guest, and it's going to be so much fun. I can't wait for you guys to experience Rising Moons. So start your days off with us. We'll start them with you as well. We are all in this together. So keep yourself safe. Keep your loved ones safe. And until next time, may the force of others be with you.
Hey scumbags, thanks for watching. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up on our video. As always, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Rebel Scum Podcast, for all the latest videos.